Hello, I'm Hannah and welcome to my 6-part series of Find Your Flight, where I'll be teaching you the basics of aerial yoga and one of its greatest benefits, which is spinal release and decompression. Let's go ahead and jump into today's lesson. So today's practice is, of course, building on from last week. And the important part of today is about adding traction to our spine, which means giving weight to the hammock and ultimately creating space between the vertebrae of our spine. And hopefully at the end, we'll feel a little bit longer and a little bit taller. Welcome to part 2 of Find Your Flight series. Today is all about chair pose. So check out the first video because that is going to set you up for chair. We're heading straight back into back lean to begin with. So bring yourself to the front edge of your fabric, standing underneath plumb line, that center point. Bring the hands on up and take your easy grip. Press your fingers into the center of your palm. Feet stay under plumb line as you start to gently lean your way back and give your weight to the fabric. Do what you need to get comfortable here. We're going to see if we can add some traction to our spine today, which means creating space between the vertebrae of the spine by simply walking our feet forwards of plumb line. So take hold of the fabric and then start to walk the feet forwards. Bring the feet roughly to hip width. And just at the beginning there, notice that there is a little bit of tone in the core. So we're kind of lifting the hips ever so slightly. There is this sense of drawing the sit bones ever so slightly towards the back of those knees. And we're just sort of feeling out right now what's going on for us in our spine. What kind of sensations and feedback are we experiencing or you experiencing in your body? If you need to come out sooner, head your way back with your feet and come up to stand. Rejoin when you need to. It's all about building our sensation sort of tolerance often with a few of these poses. So first time can always feel a little more intense, and second, third, fourth, fifth time we're starting to get the body to recognize those sensations. So joining me in your chair, then we want to see if we can add on a little bit more release. So at this point, I'm going to see if there's a little bit more of a letting go through my core. So actually just letting my weight dangle down here. The sit bones draw away from the back of the knees. And I'm not trying to overdo this. I'm not arcing or arching. I'm just now letting go. So we'd still be holding on at this stage. Make sure that the fabric hasn't suddenly dropped, or lifted, I should say. Your body hasn't dropped. So this is incorrect right now. I want to have myself caught with the fabric underneath the back of the ribs. Now I have to reset. Coming back under. Not where it's suddenly gone straight into the armpits. This is where it's really helpful to wear something like a t-shirt for poses such as this. So we've let go of our core, we're feeling okay, and then maybe we could add on some different sort of leg shapes here. So at this point, maybe the feet a little less wide. I've brought my feet in a tiny bit closer. Shift the weight into one foot and then perhaps prop the other ankle on top of the knee. Now you might want to stay exactly as you are, or perhaps you could also release a hand. So I've brought the same hand to the bent knee that's in the sky, off the fabric here. Do notice if you've dropped through that hip of the knee that's in the sky. We don't want to go there. We want to see if we can keep those hips pretty stable and level at that stage. Maybe you're there for just one more breath, and do feel into that breath. And then release. And maybe you're ready to straight away swap it onto the other side. So we're getting lots of feedback from the fabric. And maybe you can invite the breath to feed into the fabric at the back of the body. We often, when we think about breath, we quite often concentrate on breathing vigorously or moving through the front of the body, but just as much we can obtain our breath through the back body as well. And then releasing that ankle, walk the feet back underneath plumb line. Straighten out through the legs, come through to back lean. I'm going to offer a slightly modified variation of coming up. This time I invite you to perhaps take a roll up to stand. Last week we didn't really roll too much, but I'm going to open up through my throat and then see if I can roll up. So we want to stay bending through the knees, draw the knees forwards, grip on nice and firm, nice and high, and then give your weight to your grip in the fabric. Bend the elbows to lift yourself up as you roll up to stand. Thanks again for joining today's practice. It's our week 2, and next session will be our 3rd video of Find Your Flight. See you there. If this practice resonates with you, check out the details that I'll add in the description box below. I am involved with virtual teacher trainings in collaboration with the wonderful Renee Stevens from Creative Body Flow, who created this world-class teacher training course for aerial yoga therapeutics. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Not only will this keep you up to date with my offerings, but will keep content like To The Being free and accessible to all.